Hey guys, good morning. It is Rhea and I am here at McGough, and today I'm going to teach you about our diet prep process. All of our volunteers are required to help out with basic husbandry before handling the birds. So this is how you would go about if you were prepping diet for that day. So we have up here on the cabinets all of our major information as far as what we need to pull for defrosting, what gets fed. All of our birds are on a rotating diet. Nobody gets the same thing every day. We serve poultry, we serve beef heart, we serve rodents, and also fish for our bald eagle. So here we've got their charts. Every bird has their own chart, unless it is a community enclosure, in which case they've got a joint chart. It tells you on here any special notes you need to be aware of, when they get their vitamins sprinkled on, what range of food it is, and then we track all of that. So exactly what were they fed, how many grams were they fed, how much was left over, and then who did they feeding that day. So I personally like to set out all of my containers first and make sure I've got matching lids and everything. So everybody is set out. We've got Sarge, our bald eagle. I've got my red shoulders. I've got my great horns. We've got our barred owls down here, my red tails, kestrels, and then all of the screeches. So this is just an easy way for me to keep track of it. However, everybody has their own way of doing it. And then we have our scale, which is stored up here in this bin. But go ahead, pull your scale down, and all of our measurements are done in grams. So you would turn your scale on, and you want to make sure that your units are grams right here. If they're not, you're going to push the unit button until you get it to grams. There we go. Now it's pounds and ounces, so that would be wrong. Switch it to grams. All right, ooh, back to grams, come on. All right. So now if we look at our feeding schedule, today is Sunday. So on Thursdays and Sundays, everybody gets chicken, including Sarge. Sarge also gets 100 grams of fish, and then these birds get a chick. So what I like to do is, first things first, I'm going to take those items that are dog-eared for individuals and toss them in their bin. So let's see here. I need Dakota, Rogue, Jasper, Shay, and Franklin. So Dakota gets a chick, Rogue gets a chick, Jasper gets a chick, and Franklin gets a chick. So I believe that is all of our chicks. Jasper, Shay, yes. And then Sarge is going to get the fish. So I'll just toss the fish into Sarge's for now because she's the only one who gets fish. But that way when I weigh hers, I know to weigh that first and then build up from there. So that's where we're going to start. So I'm going to go ahead and get my phone balanced here so you guys can see the scale. We do have a cutting board that specifically says BOP on it. This is for meat. This is not the tortoises or anything that's going to be getting an herbivore's diet. We also have knives and scissors. Different people have different preferences. Depending on the day or what it is I'm prepping, my preference changes. I'm going to go ahead and pull down our clipboard here, and it starts with Sarge. So I'm going to look, and it says Sarge gets 250 to 280 grams. So we're going to go ahead, take Sarge's container and put it on the scale. Make sure the scale is turned on and that it reads 0 with the bowl on it. If it did not, you would hit tare, which is going to zero your scale out. That way what I'm weighing is only the food and not the container itself. So let's see, we're aiming for 100 grams of fish, but if we have a little bit more, that's okay. So we are at 96 grams of fish. That's pretty spot on. So from there, now I'm going to add our chicken. We also sometimes have scraps. So yesterday was a beef heart day, and we do have a piece of beef heart left over. So that is something we want to use today for sure. So I'll go ahead and top her off with the beef heart, although this tiny piece can go to a screech. All right, so we're at 129. We got to keep going up. And we're going to add our chicken. So here at the park, we get dark meat, boneless, skinless chicken. The only thing is sometimes skinless isn't so super skinless, and it has a lot of fat buildup on it. So like this chicken, all of this fat, it's not that it's necessarily bad if any of it's on there. However, it does make their waste incredibly slimy. So we want to get off as much as we can because it makes cleaning a lot easier if they don't have gooey, slimy poop. So we're going to go ahead and cut pieces. So we're at 176. The other thing with the diet prep is you have to know the individuals that you're prepping for. Their diet sheets do give you information about what size pieces they need because certain birds are fed in different ways. So Eleanor, for example, is visually impaired. She gets hand-fed, so she needs tinier pieces. She's not going to hold it with her foot and shred it herself. So we need to make sure that it's in bite-sized niblets for her. Same with the screech owls. We want to make sure that their pieces are manageable for their size. We don't want to feed them the same size pieces we're feeding Sarge. So we are at 224. We're going to keep adding. Just trying to get off as much of this fatty skin as I can. So like all of this can just be thrown away. And the chicken we feed here is human grade. It's people quality. We could eat it if, you know, we had leftovers, but we don't because you don't know where my hands have been. So we're gonna keep going. 234. $239. So here at the park, we do not feed the birds every single day, and that's because in the wild, they're not going to necessarily have a successful hunt every single day. So Mondays are actually our fasting day, and Tuesdays are our empty weight days. So that on Tuesdays we can take weights, we can adjust diets as needed if the bird is putting on too much weight, if they're losing too much weight, things like that. So we keep a really close eye on all of that. So now we are sitting at 256. So on our scale, 256 grams. That is right in her zone. So we'll come over to her paper. Today is the 28th. So we're going to write that she has fish, she has beef heart, and she has chicken. And it is 200, what did I say? 256 grams. So if at the end of the day she does not eat all of her food, we would go back in and write what was left over. So 42 grams of beef heart, and we would initial that we were the ones who weighed that portion of the diet back. So that is the general gist. You'll just work your way through this whole binder, or clipboard rather, and diets are prepped.